Thanks for joining us on a tour of Holland America's newest ship, the Rotterdam. This is the 7th version of the Rotterdam in the history of Holland America. The ship comes in at just under 100,000 gross tons and just under 1,000 feet long. The ship was released in October of 2021 and carries just over 2,600 passengers. So let's start on deck 1, the main deck. And first, before we get started, be sure to follow the little Canadian red maple leaf on the ship map to the right to see where we are on the ship at any given moment. Most of deck 1 is stateroom, but there is a small area in the main atrium that has a couple points of interest. First of all, there is the internet center, of which there is a separate room that has a printer available for guests to print if required. There's also a help desk for internet services, as well as a beautiful sculpture that extends all the way up to decks 2 and 3. We also found that off to the side there were a couple boardrooms that were being used for COVID testing to get off the ship. So let's start on deck 2, the plaza deck, towards the front of the ship. Coming from the main elevators, you travel to the left or the right, and you go through a set of glass doors that lead through to the world stage. Now the world stage is the Rotterdam's main theater. It is very unique. It has a circular design with seating extending about 270 degrees around the room, with a stage towards the center and large LCD screens on the walls that you can see here. Here they put on several performances by a dance troupe. They also have comedy some nights, and they also show documentaries with or without the classical musicians that are on board. Overall, we found this space underutilized. We were surprised there weren't more theatrical shows, or even having the comedian here all the time, since the comedian usually drew a large crowd. The space overall was comfortable, but we did find it odd that there were no drink service at the world stage. Moving aft of the world stage, past the forward elevators, come down a hallway on the starboard side and reach one of the most unique features about the Rotterdam. That is the brand new library. This library is definitely Holland America's best library at sea, if not one of the best libraries anywhere at sea. It contains multiple editions of several different types of books. There are multiple genres. You can see there are comfortable chairs that you can lounge and sit back with a book. You can even sit by the window and watch the waves go by. You can borrow books from here, but you're advised to make sure you return them before the end of your cruise. This library is a must-see and was one of the first things that we visited when we boarded the Rotterdam. Moving aft of the library, you come into one of the Rotterdam's most famous features. A feature that you can find on all the Holland America Pinnacle class ships is the music walk. On the port side of the music walk, you find Billboard Onboard. This is a lounge with dueling pianos. The piano players will play together. They will alternate between songs and push each other to the delight of the audience. Moving past the pianos and farther into the lounge, there is a small circular dance floor that we often were up and dancing on with other guests. There's also a little buffet tucked into the corner of the Billboard Onboard that has snacks in the evening if you want something to nibble with when you're having a nice cold drink. In the middle of the music walk is the Notes Whiskey Bar. Here you can find an assortment of whiskeys and whiskey tasting events that occur periodically throughout the cruise. Traveling from Notes and across the hall from Billboard Onboard is the Rolling Stone Rock Room. This venue is packed almost every night. There's a dance floor just in front of the stage that you will see people up dancing to a rock band that plays everything from Joan Jett to the Beatles to Bob Dylan and of course the Rolling Stones. At the back of this lounge there is a bar that serves the needs of all the customers. This is a very busy place, and if you want a seat at the Rolling Stone Rock Room, be sure to come early and don't leave to go across the Billboard Onboard because you will lose your seat. Now, Music Walk doesn't end there. You continue aft through these glass elevators and down a long corridor. This can be a busy spot as people travel back and forth between music venues. On the left side, there are several shops that sell jewelry as well as other fashion accessories. On the right side of this corridor, you'll find B.B. King's Blues Club, also serving as Lincoln Center Stage. This is a large, comfortable, classy lounge where you will find fantastic musicians. As you're making your way down this corridor to the Blues Club, certainly stop in. Check out some duty-free watches, rings, or whatever your heart's desire. At the time of filming this video, the shops were closed, but typically they are open in the evening when you're not at port. One thing you will notice on the Rotterdam as you wander around the ship is the exceptional artwork. It's music themed and it's everywhere. It's in the stairways, it's in the lounges, it's at the entrance areas of some of the venues. As we walk into the BB King Blues Club here, you can see this stand-up bass. So this is the ground floor level of the BB King Blues Club. It also serves as Lincoln Center stage for the classical musicians. On our cruise, there was blues every single night. The musicians were fantastic and headlined by 2 finalists in the Voice television show. Coming to the shows in this venue was like going to a concert all on its own. We often turned to each other and thought to ourselves that the price of the cruise was worth the price of admission for the quality of music that's on board the Rotterdam. Holland America does a great job with getting fantastic, engaging, entertaining musicians on all of the ships that we've enjoyed. Moving aft of the BB King Blues Club and the shops, you come down a hallway. This hallway during gala nights often has opportunities for pictures. And moving past the central elevators, we come to the Ocean Bar, one of our favorite stops on the Pinnacle class ships. To the right of the Ocean Bar are fresh flowers and the artwork that is in what we call the main atrium of this class of ships. And on the starboard side of the main atrium, you find the Pinnacle Grill. We enjoyed one evening at the Pinnacle Grill, the ultimate steakhouse at sea. Jill enjoyed a steak, and I enjoyed some halibut. The menu is exceptional, the service is first class, and definitely check out the clothesline bacon. Just past the Ocean Bar is a little desk where you can find out more about restaurant reservations and a nice sitting area to enjoy one of the nice cool drinks made at the Ocean Bar. Across from this area is Rudy's Seldamar, another one of Holland America's signature specialty dining restaurants. We didn't have a chance to enjoy Rudy's, but we did take a look inside to see the nice intimate setting with beautiful art and cozy tables for 2. Rudy's features classic French dishes reimagined with a contemporary flair. On Rotterdam, Rudy's is a standalone restaurant, as it is on the new Stottendam and Koningsdam, but on the other Holland America ships, the menu from Rudy's can be found on certain evenings at the Pinnacle Grill. Outside of Rudy's, you find additional seating for the Ocean Bar. This area is often busy at happy hour before people are heading to the dining room further aft. In this area, you can find a small circular dance floor. We didn't see many people up dancing, but on gala nights at the piano, there was live music available. Moving past this area, we come to a feature that is special to just the Rotterdam, the Half Moon Bar. This was one of our favorite stops on the ship for a pre-dinner cocktail. This bar is meant to take you on a journey through Holland America Line's history. Drinks on the menu include the original, the Half Moon, 3 Mile Run, May She Be Blessed, and one of our favorites, the Rotterdam 7, dedicated to its namesake ship. It's a unique blend of traditional and innovation made with smoked gin and a maraschino cocktail. Definitely something to check out if you're on the Rotterdam. Seating can be hard to come by at the Half Moon Bar, but there are some seats available just aft of the bar along this corridor, right across from the Club Orange restaurant. Now, the Club Orange restaurant is available to people that purchase the Club Orange program, and that program is also complimentary to Neptune and Pinnacle suite guests. This onboard program provides priority check-in, disembarkation, and tenders. It also includes complimentary stateroom upgrades, bathrobes, and access to this Club Orange dining room. which provides breakfast and dinner. And at the time of filming, they were just prepping for breakfast in the early morning. It's certainly a beautiful spot. The menu at Club Orange includes most of the items available in the main dining room, as well as a couple more special items specific to this restaurant. Moving aft of the Club Orange restaurant, you come down a hallway, past the restrooms meant for the main dining room, through the corridor with the aft elevators, and eventually to the dining room itself. The food at this dining room is included with your cruise fare. It is one of the most beautiful dining rooms that we have seen on any cruise ship. It has beautiful decor, fascinating structural elements, and a crew that will meet your every need. You can come to the main dining room for an elegant breakfast, a leisurely lunch, or an unforgettable multi-course dinner. Our only challenge with the main dining room was we weren't able to secure a fixed dining time. We did try to request to have the same wait staff throughout the cruise, but we didn't have any luck. Moving up one level, we are on Deck 3, the Promenade Deck. On this floor, we will start at the aft of the ship, at the main dining room, and move forward. So the top level of the main dining room wasn't used much during our cruise. Most passengers were squeezed into the first floor of the dining room with only a few guests up on this level. Seating along the railing on this second floor provides a beautiful overview of the entire dining room. Overall, the food at the dining room was wonderful. We never had a bad meal or poor service. Moving forward from the main dining room, past the aft elevators, you come to the photo studio on board the Rotterdam. In this area, you can find photo equipment, memory cards, tripods and such for sale, all duty free, as well as computer kiosks where you can look up all the photographs that have been taken throughout your journey. On the right side of the photo area is a portrait studio where they do custom photographs and some fantastic black and white photography. Moving forward of the photo area, you will come to an area that experienced Holland America Mariner Club members will tell you is one of their favorite features on board the Pinnacle class ships. That is the Dutch Cafe. Here you will find absolutely delicious pastries that are included in your cruise fare. You can find specialty coffees that are at cost or included in the beverage package, as well as a bar where you can get a cocktail in the evening. Moving just past the Dutch Cafe is a large seating area, part of it that overlooks the ocean, another part that overlooks the main atrium. This is a busy spot day and night and enjoyed by most of the passengers that sail on board the Rotterdam. Across the atrium from the Dutch Cafe is an office that you can book your next Holland America cruise, as well as the customer service desk. The staff here were polite and willing to help with any problem. We had a couple small issues that they quickly fixed for us, and we appreciate all of their help. Moving past some more music-themed artwork, past the mid-elevators, you come to a set of sliding glass doors that opens up to an outside deck. This outside deck goes all the way around the circumference of the ship, and many people enjoyed it for a morning walk. There are a few benches available for seating, but one of the best parts of this deck are the views of the ocean. There are several areas where the lifeboats are in the way and the deck jogs around them, but it's a great area to get a little bit of fresh air just outside of the Dutch Cafe in the main atrium area. If the weather takes a turn for the worse, most of this deck is covered, so you can get out of the rain and still enjoy that morning walk. And it's conveniently located right next to a cafe where you can get your morning coffee. Moving back inside, you come back through the sliding glass elevators, take a turn to the right, and start heading forward of the ship down this hallway. You go past a little more artwork, and there are more shops on the right side. These shops have less to do with jewelry and more to do with clothing, handbags, sundries, and even a few snacks. Located kitty corner to these shops on the right is another little shop that has specifically men and boys wear. To the left of the shops is the open area of the BB King Blues Club, where there is some seating available if you can't find any on the first level. Moving forward, along the side of the top level of the BB King's Blues Club are a few more shops that have duty-free spirits that you can purchase on board, and that's given back to you when you leave the ship. Located across the hall from the duty-free shop is a small little art gallery with several photographs along the wall. We never saw any other passengers in this little art gallery, but really, the entire ship itself feels like one big musical art gallery. Moving forward, we come to the ship's casino. Be advised that if you aren't a smoker or a gambler, then you may want to avoid this part of the ship because it can get smoky. There seems to be a wide assortment of slot machines, as well as tables on the port side. And moving a little bit farther forward, you come to a circular staircase that winds down to the music walk, and a little bar that you can stop for a cocktail while you're in the casino or if you're on your way through. Moving a little farther forward, we come to the forward elevators, which then leads in to the world stage. This is the second level of the world stage. For some people, this part of the world stage serves as their muster station. There are no balconies in this main theater, but instead there's theater seating that starts down on deck 2 and comes up to this location on deck 3. Near the theaters are public restrooms. And so I thought we'd take a look inside just to give you an example of what a typical men's room looks like on the Rotterdam. It is very classy, very clean, fresh hand towels available, and definitely a step up from the normal public washrooms we've experienced on other cruise lines. Decks 2 and 3 contain most of your inside entertainment venues and restaurants. Decks 4 through 8 are only stateroom cabins, so traveling through any of these decks will give you this typical view as you walk through the hallways. So next, we'll go up to Deck 9, the Lido deck. Here you will find the greenhouse spa and salon. We didn't do a tour of this area on the Rotterdam, but right beside the spa you will find the gym and workout area for this ship. Traveling aft of the spa area, you will travel past the Thalassope pool and out onto the open deck of the main pool. This main pool has an additional deck that overlooks it, as well as a retractable roof. So if the weather turns foul, the roof comes over and you can still enjoy some time at the pool. Moving aft of the 3 large hot tubs at the end of the pool, you come across the Lido bar, which has the best margaritas on the entire ship. This is a busy spot during a sea day. Moving to the starboard side of the ship, beside the Lido bar, is a gelato bar where you can find fresh made milkshakes and gelato. And next to that is another one of the favorite spots for Holland America cruisers, which is Dive-In Burgers. Some argue that Dive-In has some of the best burgers at sea. And here you can find more than just burgers. You can find a chicken sandwich, hot dogs, and even a carb-free burger with lettuce as the bun. Moving aft of the main pool area is the Lido Market, which is the main buffet for the Rotterdam. On the starboard side of the ship, you will find Canaletto. This area is open for breakfast and lunch for general seating, but during the evening, this turns into one of Rotterdam's specialty restaurants. Here you can find Italian dishes and beautiful views overlooking the ocean during the evening. The Lido Market provides a wide variety of food, all broken into several different stations and themes. You can have desserts, you can have pastas, you can have sandwiches, you can have warm entrees, there's a carving station, there's a stir-fry station. Whatever your heart desires, you'll find at the Lido Market. Most of the stations at Lido Market you will find have servers that'll put the food on the plate for you. This isn't a COVID measure, this is just the level of service that's provided by Holland America all of the time. Let's sit back and enjoy some of this fabulous food at the Lido Market. This pasta station was one of my favorite stops on the buffet. There's always an assortment of pasta, as well as the opportunity to add several different sauces to whatever your pasta selection might be. Next to the pasta station, you will also find an area where there is beer on tap. It isn't included in your drink package and it is additional fare. There's also a soda dispensing machine, as well as a coffee station that provides a selection of teas, coffee, and whatever you take in your coffee. We never had a problem getting a seat at the Lido Market. There was lots of tables available, and there's servers that come around and provide beverages once you sit down to eat. Moving aft, we go to the adults pool area. Now, children under 16 are allowed in this adult area if accompanied by an adult, but there's often not very many children on a Holland America ship, so it's never been a problem. On the starboard area of this ship, there's a smoking area, and on the port side, there's seating. Tucked in under the overhang beside the smoking area is the sea view bar, where you can belly up, get a nice cold beverage, and take in the beautiful view off the aft of the Rotterdam. Now let's move up one level to deck 10, the panorama deck. We will start at the aft of the ship and make our way forward this time. There are a couple small seating areas that overlook the adult pool area that provide a great view of the wake. These areas are often not very busy. Again, you can usually find a lounger up here if you're looking for a little bit of sunshine. And you're only one deck above the sea view bar. Moving a little bit forward, we come into another one of Holland America's specialty restaurants called Tamarind. Here you will find culinary traditions of Southeast Asia, China, and Japan. You will also find the Tamarind Bar, which is a very popular spot for happy hour. You need to arrive early to get a seat. Located on the port side of the Tamarind, you will find an area that serves sushi. Moving towards the inside entrance to Tamarind, towards the aft elevators, you will find some very unique artwork. But to get farther forward on deck 10, you need to travel down these stairs, past this really interesting artwork, and along deck 9 to come back up to deck 10 at the middle part of the ship. So here we were coming back up to deck 10, past some more interesting artwork, to the mid elevators where we find Club How, which is one of the children's programs on board the Rotterdam. This area here is meant for younger children, and then right next to it, there's a children's area for older kids. Moving forward on deck 10 on the starboard side, we move into an area of comfortable seating that overlooks the main pool. In this area, we find the panorama bar. When we move forward of this bar, we step into a spectacular view of the entire main pool area. We can see that there is seating around, as well as comfortable loungers, day beds, and just an overall relaxing atmosphere to take in a sea day, or in fact, any time aboard this beautiful ship. On the port side of this open area on deck 10 is another one of our favorite spots to grab something to eat, the New York Deli and Pizza. They serve delicious pizzas, sandwiches, and even breakfast, which is a well-kept secret on the Pinnacle class ships. I would often stop in here and grab a breakfast sandwich. Also, don't miss out on the movie night snacks. There are chicken wings, Korean barbecue chicken, and pulled pork sliders. Don't miss all the great food at the New York Deli and Pizza. Here you get a closer view of some of the day beds, but do come early. They fill up fast. Also located at the aft part of this open area is a ping pong table that's often busier than you think. Next, we're going to move up to deck number 11, the sun deck. The forward part of deck 11 does have a few cabins, and to get up here from deck 11 requires you to go inside, up the forward stairs or elevators, and down this hallway here. But once you get outside, you're rewarded with some beautiful views, a couple benches, and the jogging track. The jogging track is a little small and requires 12 trips around the circumference of the roof for the main pool to make a full mile. In saying that, the views from this jogging track are second to none. I look to the inside of the ship and you can see the main pool. From the jogging track you can also see up to the cabanas, and a look towards the outside of the ship allows you to take in beautiful vistas of the ocean. This jogging track was never crowded, but always had a few people on it throughout the day. When you keep moving aft of the jogging track, you come into an area that I would best describe as an outdoor exercise area. There's a shuffleboard area here, as well as a few pieces of workout gear. Traveling further aft still, you come into the closed off area of the sports court. This area can be set up for basketball, pickleball, or a variety of activities to keep people busy and active throughout the day. Moving aft of the sports court, we come to the sun bar. Now the sun bar isn't open all of the time, mostly on sea days during the afternoon, but when it's not in service, you can find yourself a cool refreshment of iced tea or cold water here. A hidden area that not a lot of people take advantage of on the Rotterdam is this open air deck near the aft of the ship. From here you have absolutely gorgeous views of sunrises and sunsets, as well as an overview of the adult pool. Moving forward a little bit again, we go by the classic Holland America stack and logo, and this entire deck provides multiple opportunities to watch the waves go by and take in that cruise life. Next we go up to deck 12, the observation deck, and up here we will find the Explorations Cafe. You move from the forward elevators through these doors and come past some beautiful artwork of past ships and find a gaming sitting area immediately to your left. Here you will find jigsaw puzzles. There are board games available, and people may sit here and take in a game of cards. We also saw this area used as a staging area for events, receptions, and even small weddings. Heading around the corner, we come to a map that shows where you are on your journey. And then moving all the way forward to the windows, we find a pair of binoculars that you can use to take in the views and enjoy a look out to the bow of the ship. Moving back into the lounge, we go by a replica of an older Rotterdam ship. There's also an area that includes bookshelves with some artwork and plenty of seating for you to sit back, read a book, chat with a friend, and just take in the 270-degree views that this lounge affords. Tucked inside the starboard corner of this lounge is the shore excursion desk. In front of the shore excursion desk are these very large tablets that are interactive. You can choose your port of call. You can then move the map around. You can zoom into the map, and when you find something specific on the map that interests you, you can click on it and find even more information still. This is a very handy feature, especially if you plan to get off the ship and do a little bit of exploring on your own. If you don't want to explore on your own, then there are wonderful shore excursion staff here that are available to book excursions for you. In this lounge, you can also find Explorations Cafe. Here you can find specialty coffees and also mixed drinks throughout the day. Moving after the lounge, you come outside and enter the retreat cabana area. This area is only for cabana guests. Here you can rent cabanas by the day or by the week. And please see this link in the top corner for our video on cabanas and how to rent them and how to choose them. Here you can find family-sized cabanas, cabanas for two, as well as loungers and a relaxing hot tub. This retreat area has cabana stewards that will get your lunch for you. They will go get you a cold drink and make sure that your every need is met. It's a completely wonderful experience that we've done multiple times, and we would definitely recommend to anybody that's traveling aboard a Holland America ship. It would be bad luck to have a deck 13, so let's move up to deck 14, the Sky Deck. And this is the top deck available to guests on board the Rotterdam. This area of the ship is hardly ever used by guests, although staff do put out loungers during the sea days. There isn't a lot of shade up here, but the views around the entire ship are just incredible. This area also overlooks the retreat cabana area. You often see guests coming up here for a photo op, as you can get the entire ship in the background. Let's just take a look at the beautiful views overlooking Holland America's brand new ship, the Rotterdam. We hope you've enjoyed our tour of the Rotterdam. Please follow us on Instagram, the Cruising Canucks, and also subscribe if you haven't to our YouTube channel. There'll be lots more vlogs and content coming in the months and years ahead. Thanks for watching.